Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to my stream. Let's see if we can dive in and get started. I may have turned the gain up too much on my mic. I don't know. We'll find out. So let's switch over to my main screen and take a look. What we're doing today is... Oh, that's right. We finished yesterday with completing the whole map refactoring. And then we found a bug in that the waveform collapse builder would mess up our room-based stuff, so the entrance would no longer exist. Let's take a look real quick at that. It's in the builder's mod. Down at the bottom. Right, we moved this down here into random shape builder, whereas before it was in the random... just the random builder. It would do a prefab thing, and we still have a it would do the waveform before the prefab, and we still have an issue with the prefab. Could stomp on our downstairs, but I chose to ignore it yesterday, and I guess I'll continue to ignore it today. There should be, we just need to think about the best way to approach building a room, So the issue is here that, right, what we're doing is, if we're doing a room-based map, which is a simple map builder with one of the two BSPs, we then decide where the starting position is based either on the room or or an area, depending on how we're going to handle it, depending on the random number. And then we decide where to put the stairs based on a random number, and then decide how to respond based on a random number. And then if we go ahead and stomp on that with waveform collapse basically just takes the maze, or the level that was generated, and chops it up into little pieces and tries to reassemble them in a different way so it looks completely new, which will overwrite the downstairs. It'll also overwrite the spawning position. So, yeah, it won't overwrite the starting position. The starting position will still be wherever it chose, but it could end up putting a wall all around where the starting position is. So that's less than ideal, shall we say? Especially if it's like level 1 of the map and you don't have like a stone to mud or something like that. So yeah, it's it's a bug that needs to be addressed at some point, but we don't need to address it just yet, because we're going to be continuing to hack on the room building, and we're going to just do some straight up creating builder chains based on what we're working on, rather than a full random choice. And I'm just thinking about now how to handle this, because it's going to end up doing a lot of warnings again with the fact that we're not using it. And I think I just want to do I'll just do like an end based thing. What can we do here? Rust standard end. I think we can get the environment and then just look in the environment for something that doesn't exist and then base it off. Well, we'll get there. I'm jumping ahead. Alright, in the last chapter we abstracted our room layout, but kept the actual placement of the rooms the same. There are always rectangles, although this can be mitigated with room explosion and corner rounding. This chapter will add the ability to use rooms of different shapes. Alright, so we have a rectangle room builder. I wish they had put like a little chapter thing at the top so you could see all the different sub-sections. So, let's see, rectangle room builder. We have circular rooms coming up. And then restoring random. Okay, that's it. So we're just going to have a rectangle and a circle. All right. I guess we can expand on that later. But I guess for now, what we will do is work on a rectangle room. We'll make a new file called room draw. Room draw. Okay. And this looks pretty straightforward. In fact, I'm just going to copy and paste the, you can see they copied the room rounding what would it be? Room corner rounding, that's it. So we have a metamap builder, a builder map, a tile type, and a rect. And this is just going to be a room drawer. This is room drawer. Room drawer. Okay. And then everything else changes. We still do this line here where we grab the rooms from the build data. And once we do that, we can say let rooms... Oh, yep, we do that. Okay. We combine these lines together. For rooms and room iter, and we have a Y and an X. Okay, so now we're going to just build... Oh, we're just creating the room, the rect room itself. Okay. And then for x in room dot x1 plus 1 dot equals room dot x2, let idx is build data map. And then if it's less than build data map width times build data map height minus 1. As usize or something? Yeah. But we can pull this is a loop invariant. Let's pull that out of the let max idx equal. That should clean that up a little bit. I guess if I say as usize, I don't have to put the usize there. And then we can just change this to be the max idx. And then we'll set build data map tiles is a floor. And we don't need any of that. And we do want to take a snapshot. Okay. That's after each Y? Yeah. So after each Y. So for each room, we'll take a snapshot. Okay. And then same drawing functionality that's in common RS apply room to map, wrapped in the same meta builder functionality we've used in the last couple of chapters. Okay. And then in BSP Dungeon, simply remove the line referencing apply room to map. And you can also remove take snapshot since we aren't applying anything to the map yet. You have to update is possible to check the rooms list rather than reading the live map. Oh, this is all in BSP Builder, or BSP Dungeon. Okay. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do was, yeah, there's a way to do a format on save. Let's look that up real quick here. Vim format Rust on save. This is Vim. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's grab that line. And throw it in our vimrc. I guess we put it here. Let's be consistent. Alright, so now map builders. What was it? Room draw. Rooms draw. Now I hit save. Well, let's add an extra blank line. Oh, there we go. Okay. So as soon as I hit save, it removed that extra blank line. So I guess what I had typed in was already formatted correctly. Alright, so let's go to BSP Dungeon. And we're going to remove apply room to map. So we have a rooms push and self add subrecs, and then we don't take a snapshot. But we want to look at is possible. Right, we did a little fancier thing than this. We grabbed the rect and just expanded it directly rather than try to modify it. I guess that was a little fancier. Can build true. I'm puzzled by this here. For R in rooms iter, if R intersect rect, then can build is false. Then we go through, if can build is false, we still loop over the entire expanded room and look, and then return can build. This is an interesting pattern that I'm not totally enamored with. Why not? We're not making any modifications, we're just looking. So what we can do is say for R in rooms iter, if R intersect rect, then return false. This is return false. Return false, return false, return false. And then that goes away and return false. And this is return true, which is stored true. How's that any different? I think this is the same and it saves. Oh, it doesn't like that. Rooms iter. Oh, we have to pass in the rooms now. So we don't pass in the map. Pass in self, the rect, the build data. And the rooms, which is a vec of rect. And Clippy's going to complain and say do this instead. Okay. And then, so now we have to change all the calls to is possible. I think there's only one. Yeah, build data map, which we already have, and then rooms. Right? Direct a build data and rooms. Candidate, build data, and rooms. Okay. Oh, and then all these things need to change. That's right. These are all build data dot map width. And I hit F1 again. All right, and then I think we already modified all the other ones, so we don't need those. All right, let's see if this checks out. Oh, and then there's one more thing. Oh, in simple map RS, we can remove it and this take snapshot calls and just say rooms push. Okay, and then we have to modify it to actually draw the rooms. Doesn't like this. Expected a builder map, but found a map. So what are we passing in instead? Build data.map. Oh, maybe we just pass in the build data. I mean, that's what they're looking for. So, should I change this back to a map? Because we don't need all the build data. We just need the map itself. But they've got this in here. All right, we'll leave that alone. And then simple map. We don't need to apply, and we don't need to take a snapshot. So that's all that is. But now the rooms won't get drawn. So we're going to modify our mod, map builder's mod. Alright, and this was the code I was going to say, okay, let's use an environment thing. We can look up in the environment if something exists. Is there a way we can get These are the functions. I was just going to say, okay, well, look up to see if a particular environment variable exists, and then I don't see we can get an iterator. We can set a variable. But we can't say, okay, what's the value of a particular variable. Fetches the environment variable key from the current process. Okay, so maybe that's it. It returns a result string. Key K. All right, so we can just pass in a string. So we can say something like this. If env var something that doesn't exist is okay, then we'll do this. Nope, too far. There we go. Else, we're going to do this other thing. And that way I can keep all this code compiled in there and it won't complain about dead code and stuff like that. So we can just create a new builder this way. And then generate all of these things. So we have a simple map builder. I guess we can grab that from here. Builder start with. And then we're going to do, the room drawer. Well, we can get a room sorter and copy that guy. Because we still need to sort the rooms. We'll use leftmost, I guess. Okay. And then this will just be the room drawer. Like that. Okay. And then we have BSP corridors, room-based spawner. Yeah, I'm just trying to see how difficult it would be to copy paste, but we can just do this. So BSP, room-based spawner, room-based stairs, and room-based starting position. So we do for drawer, and we just change these. BSP corridors, based spawner, based stairs, and based starting position. And this just returns builder. Separate that out. All right, this looks good. Does this check? No, we have 2 errors. These should all be semicolons. Oh, it's standard env. Okay. And then room drawer doesn't exist, so we have to add that. We can put that right at the top here. Yeah, except it's called rooms with an S. Like that. And that looks like the last error there. And is that what it's called? Oh, rooms draw. It's just called rooms draw. Okay. Here we go, but we still have 6 warnings. So let's take a look at those warnings. Over here, I guess. We're not using map anymore in BSP dungeon, and rooms draw doesn't need rect or the map builders. Apply room to map is no longer used. Okay, perfect. Let's strip those out. All right, so rooms draw. It's one of the files. Source map. Rooms draw. That one didn't need rect. We actually use the fields from rect, right? X1, X2, but we don't use the thing directly. So I guess that's fine. That was the only problem with that one. And then BSP Dungeon. Well, let's just check real quick. Okay, and then BSP Dungeon no longer uses map, right? There we go. Is that the only problem with it? Oh, and it doesn't use map builders. So that's gone. All right, down to 3 warnings. And then we just need to, in common, we don't need apply room to map anymore. Apply paint. There it is, right at the top. Gone. Down, well, we still have 3 warnings. Maybe that added a new warning. All right, let's find out. So common doesn't need rect anymore, and simple map doesn't need the map builders. And then simple, that goes away. Okay, and we're down to 0 warnings. Good. It should still run, right? We'll see a simple map builder run. Let's generate the WASM file and refresh this guy. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, maybe I just hit refresh too quickly. All right. So it generated the map still. Everything worked the same way. It drew the rooms, so we know the room drawer is working. And then it was able to hook up all the corridors. So that's good. So we haven't gotten anywhere, right? And we've just refactored it. Let's do this. Clippy. What does Clippy tell us? Ooh, Clippy has some fun things. Okay, so BSP Dungeon doesn't need to pass in a reference. It's a reference that's immediately dereferenced by the compiler. All if blocks contain the same code either at the start or the end. Oh, I see. I see what it's saying. We can pull that out of the if. Yeah, okay. Let's do those 2 things before we commit this change. So in BSP Dungeon, we don't need to deref that on line 37, and then in Map Builders mod, we can pull those things out. So first thing is on line 37. We are passing in a reference though, but it's coming in as a reference already. Okay. So we don't need that. And then the other thing was we can pull a map builder out of the front for the creation of the chain, and then put this at the end, and we can do things this way. Okay. I like that. And then, so now Clippy should be happy. Yep. All right. So, let's do this. Git add source, git commit -m refactored rectangular room routine. There we go. And now we're going to look on circular rooms. So simply moving the draw code out of the algorithm cleans things up, but doesn't gain us anything new. So we'll look at adding a few shape options for rooms. We'll start by moving the draw code out of the main loop and into its own function. So modify room draw as follows. Room draw. Did I misread that? Ah, room draw. I said rooms draw, didn't I? Okay. All right. That's fine. It doesn't matter. There we go. So we're going to take, we're going to have a rectangle and a build. Oh, I see, a rectangle, and then we're going to add circle to it. Okay. So we'll say FN rectangle. And rect. And all we're going to do is copy paste this stuff here. And put it right there. Right? And then we shift it in. Oh, I guess cargo format would have done that for us. Let's do that. Save. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and then it does a check. And then we have to add rect back in. Okay. And then this needs to call self rectangle. Oh, we don't do take snapshot here. We take snapshot down below. Okay. Self rectangle, build data and room. Oh, and max IDX doesn't exist anymore. Okay, maybe that's why they did it. Max IDX usize, and we'll just pass it in. Max IDX. RECTANGLE. There we go. Okay. So that refactoring is done, and now we can create circles. Those are funny looking circles, but let's do them. FN circle. And we still need the max. Yes, we still need the max IDX. I wonder if we can just do it here. Oh, that's right. We had to pass in build data. Never mind. I was thinking, well, we could just stick it in here, but no, because you could have a room drawer for anything, not a specific builder map. So we take the max IDX, a build data, which is a mute builder map, and then a room, which is a rect. And we're going to draw a circle. As F32 divided by 2. Okay, and then the center is the center of the room, and then the center point no, let's try again. There we go. And we're going to add point to here. It is equal to point new, center 0, and center 1. Alright, and then we're going to loop over the room. Oh, it's a slightly different loop. This is room y+1 to room equals y2, as opposed to what we're doing now, which is going to just do it non-inclusive. Room.y1, or shifted up and to the left by 1. Room y2, for x in room x1, room x2, and now we're going to look, right? Let IDX, let's build data, map xy IDX xy, let distance equals the distance algorithm, distance alg. Oh, over here. Okay. Distance alg, Pythagoras, distance 2D, center point, and then a new point from x and y. right? And then if idx is greater than 0, and idx is less than max idx, and distance is less than or equal to radius, then we're going to set build data map tiles idx to the floor. And that's it. And I mistyped that. Okay, let's check that. Now we're not using it, so that's what the warnings are for. Now replace your call to rectangle with circle and type cargo run and enjoy your new room type. Alright, we're going to have to do a little bit better than that. Picking a shape at random. Okay, so let's, that should work. Let's quit out of this and generate the WASM file. And we'll take a look at circular rooms. Yep, rectangle isn't used. That's okay. We'll fix that. Oh. Yeah, I like those circular rooms. Ooh. That's not good. That's not good at all. Look at that. This is all we get. We didn't do a cull. So, we don't see anything. We don't see all this stuff disconnected. But there's a starting room, there's the ending room, and I can't get to the thing. So it looks like maybe our corridor code needs to be updated. There must be a bug in that. Are we doing... Let's see, which corridor... There's two different ways of doing corridors. One is the dog leg, and here's BSP corridors. So let's take a look at what's going on there. Rooms, corridors, BSP. There must be something that we messed up. So when we do a draw corridor, there it is. We must not be going all the way to the end. Oh. I can't, how come I can't go to the definition of this guy? That's not good. Maybe it's this LSP error. There it goes, okay. Right, we were looking at this yesterday and we wanted to make sure that we got all the way. I think this should be an AND. Let's try changing that to an AND see if that does any better. Oh no, OR is correct. OR is correct. It's while either one is not where it should be, then keep going. So that just means these coordinates are not being calculated correctly. So start X is room plus... Oh. All right. Well, let's see. Do they have the same issue, or the rooms aren't hooking up? No, these are all hooked together. What it's doing is it's picking a random location along the X1, and if it doesn't intersect the circle anywhere, then we're going to run into the problem where we have these gaps. So I think this is a button that's restoring randomness. Okay. And random room builder, we add the room drawing. Oh yeah, we have to draw the rooms. Okay, so that makes sense. But I was just looking ahead to see if they fix or if they address this issue. When you have a circular room, you have to go to the center or close to the center. So start X is room X1 plus some random distance along the X1 axis. Room Y1 is going to be the same thing. And if it picks something down here, right? Because this is the circular room. Let's go back to my screen here. The circular room is based on this rectangle. And this one happened to pick this part of the rectangle here to attach to. And there is no connection there because the circle is just gets rounded off. So I'm looking to see. Is it only the start where that happened? Or it would be both the start and the end where that happened. Right, because this is start, end, start, end, start, end. No, it seems to be happening only on the start. But I wonder if we just have to move our... I was thinking, well, we could just shift it in by one, just so that the because it doesn't matter if we have a rectangular thing. It doesn't matter if we start here and draw the floors, or if we say, okay, well, let's start all the way at the left and draw the floors, since we're going this way. The other thing I'm confused by is the fact that we're still getting these straight things, whereas the BSP looks like, and when we draw the corridor, let's take a look at the draw corridor code again. Why is that? There we go. Oh, I see why. Yeah, we're just doing the X coordinate first until the X coordinate lines up, and then we'll do the Y coordinate after that, because the if else. We handle all the X's first, and then we handle the Y's. So we're going to go over all the X and then go down or up. Yeah, I don't know how easy this bug would be to fix. Because there's nothing in the room data itself that says whether or not we're a circular room or a rectangular room. We choose the shape of the room when we draw the room, not when we create the room. So as far as the room is concerned, it's just a rect. And when we draw it, we choose, oh, this should be a circle, or oh, this should be a rectangle. So we can't ask the room, hey, are you a circle? And if you're a circle, then don't do all this random stuff, just go to the middle. Which is what I was thinking would be a good solution. Just pick because the middles are always going to be on the edge of the rect. Right here and here and here and here. And that would simplify things, but we can't do that. So what we could do, this will fix it for BSP rooms and corridors, but not for dogleg. Let's take a look at the dogleg and see how that differs. Oh, dogleg works because it picks centers. Okay, so it automatically picked the centers of each thing. So maybe that's what they did with this example. Let me take a look. No, those are not coming off the centers. What about this one? Those look like they're all centers. All right, let me switch that over to dogleg and see if that theory holds true. So instead of BSP corridors, we'll say, oh, I've forgotten what it's called now. This is where completion fails me. Dogleg corridors, that's it. Okay, so let's try that. Regenerate the WASM file. And then what I can do is take a look at, we can take a look at what that ends up drawing for us and then see if that makes any more sense, if everything is connected up. Yeah. So now it's connecting all the centers, and we can see that everything gets connected up, but we don't have any of those issues. Okay. So I guess one solution would be to say, if there's any circles, then use the dog legs, otherwise use BSPs. I mean, that would be a hacky workaround. But it would do the trick. We would have to return in from the room drawer code whether or not any circles were chosen. Or it would return a center only versus a anywhere thing. But what would be better is to modify the BSP thing to say, okay, work your way to a point where there is a and let's see if we can do that actually. BSP, there we go. So what I'm saying is we pick a starting location, and then this is going to be somewhere along room X1 to X2, which is along the top of a room, right? This is the X1 is along here. Sorry. X1 is here, X2 is here. So we're picking a spot somewhere along the top. And we want to walk our way left or right until we get to an open space. Because we're assuming that the rooms have already been drawn at this point. And so we pick a random spot, and then we have to work our way, or just, I guess, just keep looping around until we find an open spot. And then we have to do that for each side that we pick. For the start X, start Y, it's going to be, the start Y is going to be Y1 to Y2. And so we're going to start at the top and then maybe work our way down, or start in the middle and start near the bottom and then loop around. Will that do the trick? We do have the map, so we can look. Let's write one. I'm thinking, okay, well, it should be a separate function to say find good location, X, Y, but let's write it. Let's write the first version of it and see how the code gets duplicated. So now we're going to say let idx equals build data map xy idx of start x and room.y1. Is that the way? Yeah. We're picking a starting location, which is going to be somewhere between the room, and we need to make sure that where we start, the start Y can be. Oh, I see. We're picking a random location within the room. We just need to make sure that that random location is a tile. Okay, that would actually be a lot easier, right? So we say start X and start Y. What we can do instead is set start X and start Y to room X1 or room Y1 and make them mutts. And then what we can do is to say while let idx is equal to build data.map.xy idx of start X and start Y if build data.map of IDX is equal to tile type floor, which means we'll need tile type. Then break. Otherwise, we're going to choose. Okay. Yeah, we want it. Let's do it that way. Mutt and then mutt, and then 2y. Paste, and then delete that and delete that. We just keep looping until we find a floor, and then we want to do the same thing with the end. For the next room. So let's do that. Let's do that. Paste that. Let's see if this does the trick. And then we're going to change this to end. Like that. That stays the same. This changes to end. And instead of room, it's going to be next room. Like that. Oh, and then next room here as well. Okay, it didn't like that. Next room, like that. Doesn't like this. Build data.map of IDX. Cannot index into a value of map. Oh, is it tiles? Like that? I've forgotten. Oh, tiles with an S. Okay. Okay, so this works. Let's see if it does it any better of a job. Let's go back to here and then change the dog leg corridors back to the other one. BSP. Like that. Okay. Let's regenerate the WASM. I gotta quit doing the pause thing because sometimes I leave a bunch behind. Okay. So now this should at least keep looking for a room or an empty spot in a room before it starts drawing the corridor or ends drawing the corridor. All right. I don't know if that... I mean, everything's connected. I'm just trying to see, did it do a non-center based thing? This looks like it's non-centered. This looks like it's off-centered. Yeah. All right, I think that's the fix. I think that's the fix. That we would just say, keep looking in the rooms rect until you find a spot. We should probably put a time limit on it or a search limit on it. And then just default to the center of the room itself. We don't want to keep searching forever, right? That's going to be hacky by itself. BSP. No, I don't have a BSP. Okay. Source map builders. Rooms, corridors, BSP. That's it. All right. So this is the loop. We can. Oh, what was that? I want to do this. Okay, so we can say const max search usize equals, I don't know, 32. That's a nice power of 2. And we can say for max search. Oh, now I'm trying to think, okay, how would we know that we exited on failure here? This breaks when we're good, but when we hit the end of the loop, we want to know that we hit the end of the loop. All right, I guess we just refactor this. Let count equals 0 while count is less than max search. Count plus equals 1. If count equals max search, then start x is equal to room dot center. This is kind of sloppy, but the whole thing's sloppy. All right, and then we want to do the same thing down here. Count equals 0, while count is less than max search, and count plus equals 1, and then if count is equal to max search, start x, start y, like that, and stop hitting F1. There we go. And this will be end x and y equals room, no, next room, center. We'll just go for the center. And does that work? I don't know if the destructure thing works. And y. Yeah. Destructuring assignments are unstable. Alright, so we just say let center equals room dot center, and then just say start x equals center 0, and start y and center 1, right? And then we do the same thing down here. And this will be end, and this will be next row. There, okay. Now we don't have an infinite loop. But we do want to put the random choice for the shape. So let's do the picking shape at random. And that is going to be in, oh, we can't do it this way. Source map, builders, rooms draw. Rooms draw. Okay, it would be nice for round rooms to be an occasional feature, so we'll modify our build function to make roughly 1/4 of the rooms round. Okay, let's do that. And that's just going to be this. We don't need to be this fancy. We can just say if RNG roll dice 1 to 4 is equal to 1, then do a circle, else do a rectangle, like that, and take a snapshot. We don't need the whole match thing. And then when this is restoring randomness, we'll put this back in a second. I just want to try this out. Oh, we don't have the random number generator because we made it optional. Okay, and now we're back down to 0 warnings. So if we generate our Destruin, hi, good to see you. I think you're the first person on my channel to redeem any sciences. So congratulations for that. All right. So I generated the WASM. Okay. And now we have rectangular rooms and circular rooms. And they're all getting hooked up properly. And the map looks fairly decent, I would say. Player. Okay, that's the room builder. So restoring randomness, right? So we just need to put this back in for the mod. Source map builders mod. So I'll do, let's see, we have the builder chain, right? We have the type roll, we either do a room or a shape. Roll dice 1 to 3, that's the waveform which we moved because it breaks our code. So nothing changed here, right? Everything's the same. There's the vaults. And then a random room builder, we're going to modify that. This is sort. I don't think that changes, right? Oh, what they're saying is, okay, let's draw the rooms. But this doesn't make sense, does it? I guess for the BSP interior, we don't need to draw rooms. Is that true? This is saying build roll is not equal to 3. Okay. Alright, well, I'll put it in here and let's take a look at builder with room drawer new. Okay, and then we're going to put the randomness back. So we're going to change is okay to is error. And that checks out. Let's generate the WASM for that. And then let's generate a random map and see if it crashes. I'm concerned that that didn't change anything. Oh no, there we go. So there's a Voronoi shape. And let's see what happens. Does it do a waveform collapse or anything else? No, it did a cull. So that looks pretty good. And if I refresh, yep, there's a waveform. It's kind of neat to watch it build a map out of random shapes. And what happened? And we got a tiny little map because it's so unconnected. Of course, I still walked into a dart trap. Ooh, we hit a goblin right away. I wonder if the goblin got affected by any traps. We got a health potion. Looks like we just... That was a little mini vault there with the goblin and the potions and whatnot. I should give myself more than one magic map. Although this is another dungeon with rooms and corridors, but that's okay. What was that? Magic missile. Here's a round room. Okay. Rectangular room. Let's go to level 3. Ooh, unknown glyph. We just got a bug. No valid floors to start on. Okay. That's good to know. It saw this unknown glyph thing. And it got 3440 of them. So unknown glyph comes from when we're trying to convert a level. Oh, and I spelled it wrong. There we go. All right, so let's get this. This looks like it's ready to be checked in, but we do have a bug here that we'll take a look at in a second. Git add source. Rectangular and circular rooms. There we go. And then what should we do in terms of this? We need to, oops, I don't need to double click that. That doesn't help. Source, map builders, area starting position. And it was line 65. Yeah. So we looked at the entire floor and entire level, and we could not find a floor to start on. And I think it's because of this. The unknown glyph, which comes from prefab builders. K-W-O-N. K-W-O-N? K-N-W-O-N. There we go. We'll fix that right away. For some reason we have... This says it has a downstairs on it. And it's a shame that that doesn't work for our charter map. Because it should. Do I find it anywhere else? No. I wonder if it's because we changed up the way we place it downstairs now is just, it's generated after. So what we need to do is figure out a way that we can and it would have been nice for it to say, okay, here's the level we chose, because I want to be able to repeat this. I want to generate this error. Looked like what was happening, it was reading some invalid characters. I don't know, this U with a hat on it. Can I copy that? I can. Let me see what it looks like. No, I can't tell. It's a U with a hat. So it must have been reading one of the prefabs. So if I... Oh. Yeah, let's save that change. Source map builders prefab. So we have prefab levels. And I think... Yeah, here's the downstairs. Right? But it was coming up with these weird characters. I think it was trying to draw this map. And it came up with 3440 of this unknown glyph. Which doesn't make sense because this is, I mean, there aren't any special characters in here. Yeah, this is the WFC pop, or maybe it was doing the Rex map. Maybe we had a problem with that. Here's Rex level and load Rex map. So maybe there's an issue there. So Rex level, load Rex map. Yeah, and then just chart a map, and it tries to place it, and it fails. We also have an ASCII map, which just chart a map. We need to be able to figure out which, how to set a downstairs. when we're building one of these prefab levels, because the way downstairs works now, stairs, yeah, room-based stairs, or it uses, yeah, so it uses room-based stairs or distant exit. So after the map has been generated, right? And this is for the shape one. We have these prefabs. It may have been going through this one here, the small dungeon 80 by 50 XP, which is the Rex level, is what I'm guessing it went through. Based on all these unknown glyphs. We should just be able to ignore the unknown glyphs, that's fine, but if it wasn't able to place any of the stairs, that's obviously, or any of the rooms, that's obviously an issue too. So is there, let's take a look at Rex level again. Because it was going through chart a map. Here it is, load Rex map. It was just doing cell CH as char. We haven't changed this code in a long time, so I'm surprised. It's saying, layer get XY unwrap, and then that layer must have the different things like the color of it and the character to draw and stuff like that. And it's not loading it correctly, or it's not scanning it correctly, or we have some sort of weird. Let's take a look at the thing, resources. Yeah, it's this file here. We did play with WFC Demo 1 and Demo 2 and populated. We have this small dungeon 80 by 50. XXD? Yeah, I don't know how to read these files. So obviously this doesn't help looking at the hex dump. Rex paint. Can we grab it? Download Rex Paint ANSI. Alright, so it's not going to work here because this is a Windows that can be run on Wine, and I don't have Wine installed. So that's unfortunate. It'd be nice to be able to dump a Rex Paint file to take a look at it. So maybe I think for right now, I think the answer is just going to be to comment that out. Right? Don't use this Rex level anymore. Or if we do use a Rex level, we'll use WFC Demo 1, Demo 2 or populated, which is identical to the other one. Let's try WFC Demo 1 then. Alright. Let's regenerate the WASM file and then take a quick look. Offline I can download Wine and we can play with Rex Paint and see if it's any good. Or we at least tell us what the maps look like. Alright, so that didn't do it, that didn't do it, that didn't crash, that didn't crash. All I'm doing is hitting refresh so it restarts the, it generates a new random seed. And I'm hoping that, there was the prefab level, but not using the Rex Paint. I'm looking for WFC Demo 1, which I think is just a very simple. You know what I can do is just console log when that happens. That might be the easiest way to ensure that now that's working. RLTK console log shows WFC demo 1. And then return that. Nope, doesn't like that. Why not? That's perfectly good. Oh. There we go. Alright, regenerate the WASM, and then we'll look at the console down here and see if it ever chooses that. It should eventually. It just may take a whole bunch of refreshes. Oh, it took exactly one refresh. And then it decided to mess it all up with the waveform collapse. That's alright. And the downstairs are all the way over there. Okay. So we got past that, and I think that was the bug. Okay, so we're going to just check this in. Removed simple dungeon 80 by 50 until we can debug it. Alright, we'll push that up. So that's this. And that's that whole chapter. So we're done with this chapter, chapter 38. So how far along are we? We'll just take a quick peep. We have better corridors. Oh, maybe, so we just hacked up the whole BSP corridor thing. Maybe that's going to get done there. And then doors, and then decouple map size from screen size. This is what I'm looking forward to, because right now our map is within the confines of the screen. So we have 80 wide and then like 43 high, because we have this little status area at the bottom here. So it'd be nice to make it so you can scroll around and have a map that's bigger than the screen. And then the screen is just like a porthole into a region of the map. So I am looking forward to that. So we just finished room builders. Let's take a look at better corridors. Improved corridors. Nothing like consistency. Okay, we're all clean here on our in our workspace. So let's dive right in. Our corridor generation so far has been quite primitive, featuring overlaps, and unless you use Voronoi spawning, nothing in them. This chapter will try to offer a few more generation strategies, in turn providing even more map variety, and allow hallways to contain entities. I think that just means spawn entities during level creation. I think that's what they mean there. New corridor strategy, the nearest neighbor. One way to make a map feel more natural is to build hallways between near neighbors. This reduces but doesn't always eliminate overlaps, and looks more like something that someone might actually build. So we'll make a new file called roomscorridorsnearest.rs. Okay. And what is this going to do? All right. Let's just grab that. We have builder map, another map builder, rect, and we don't need tile type, but we do need draw corridor. And then a random number generator and a hash set. Put that on top. Oh, and then I hit F1 again. Okay, so then once we go through this, I'll see if I need to pull out the point and distance algorithms. So this is just called nearest corridors. All right, that was easy. And then we're going to create our build function. No, a corridors function. I guess I could have just like this. This is just corridors. And we have the same exact thing. There we go. So we're already halfway done. Okay, so let's take a look at the code before we type it in. We create a new hash set. We iterate over the rooms. We grab a distance, a vec of view size in F32. Okay, so we do need point. We'll leave that in. And we do need distance alg, so we'll leave that in. Y is not equal to j. So we're going to say, we're going to find, so we're doing n squared, right? We're searching over the room, the whole rooms, whole list of rooms. Where's the other room coming from? Oh, yeah. Okay. N connected contains j. Okay, connected is our hash set. Then we're going to see how far away. Oh, the center of each room is. All right. And we're going to insert something into our connected list, but then we need to do something with it. Where do we do something? Oh, this is draw corridor. Okay. And then we insert into the connected and then say, okay, that allows us to skip it over the next time. Okay. I'll buy that. So we don't need this anymore, but we do need to say let connected is our new hash set. I wonder if we can just get away with this. I'm going to try it. Because Rust usually can infer the type. It might not be able to if it's too complicated of code, but we'll find out. Rooms, enumerate. And then distance is effect new. Let room center. Let room dot center. Let room center point. Is point new, room center 0, and room center 1. For j and other room, in rooms enumerate, if I is not equal to j, and not connected contains j, then we're going to do an other center. And we're going to grab the other center point. I'm seeing this pattern over and over again, so there should be a way. Maybe we add something to room to just grab the center point. Is equal to point new, other center 0, other center 1. And then we're going to grab the distance. I'm getting good at typing the word Pythagoras. Room, center point, other center point. Like that, and then room, distance, push. Yeah, so Rust should be able to infer the type of this vector based on this push. Okay, so then once we've looped over the rooms for this given room, we're going to now say if the distance vector is not empty, we're going to sort by dot 1. And dot 1 is going to be the distance. So we're sorting by the distance. We're finding the shortest distance between the two rooms. And then drawing a corridor. Okay. We don't need that. Let's just continue. If room distance is empty. Room distance sort by A and B. A.1 a partial comp, B.1 unwrap. And we have to use partial comp because these are floats, and you can't do compared on floats, but you can do partial compare. Let desc center rooms room distance 0.0.center. All right, let's see if we can decode this funky thing here. So we're grabbing the first. So we sort by. So we're basically getting the one with the shortest distance, right? And we're putting that first in the array. We look at the first entry in the array, and we grab .0, which is going to be J, and J is the index into the rooms array, or slice, or vec, and then we'll grab the center of that. Okay. Draw corridor. Build data map. Room center 0, room center 1. Dest center 0 and dest center 1. And then what we're going to do is say connected.insert I. So now it's inserting into this hash set the index of the room we just connected to, so we don't look for it again. Okay. Build data, take snapshot. If I save this, it'll format it, but it won't check it because it's not linked into the code yet. Okay, yeah, I think we understand what the code's doing, but now we're going to modify random builder to use it. So we'll change this back to is okay, and now we can do this. We have the builder chain. We start with the simple map. We do the room drawer. We do the room sorter. And then instead of BSP corridors, we're going to say nearest corridors. And I'm going to look again. Rooms, corridors, nearest. Because I need this, because I need to put this up here. So mod this, and use this : star. Alright, so now it'll check. And we have 5 errors already. What did we do wrong? Oh, I put a comma there. Okay. Draw corridor doesn't exist. Well, then where does it come from? We'll find out. We got : new. And then connected contains. I did the same thing here. Is that my eyes? Yeah, my eyes just missed the ED. Okay. One error. And this is draw corridor. Okay, so we have to find out how we get that in CORRIDOR. I just say use crate. Okay. Easy enough. Three warnings though. Let's find out what they are. We're not using rect, and we're not using the random number generator. Okay. So we'll pull that out. RNG gets an underscore. All right, so let's see. This should generate this kind of a map. This gives us nicely connected maps with sensibly short corridor distance. All right, so let's generate the WASM for this. And then refresh our browser. We're getting some rectangles and some squares, and we're getting nice short corridors. Okay, good. Let's take a look at that again. This is interesting because we've got some overlap here, but maybe the corridor got drawn there or something. But it's still, it made for a pretty interesting map, I think. There could be some more rooms on it, but that's fine. That looks good. All right, let's check this in. Yeah, okay. Source, git commit. Short corridors. And I push because I push. This can go away. Advent of code, I need to come back to the stuff in there. There's some of the days I need to make faster, but not today. All right, so there's that. All right, so now we have corridors with Bressinum lines. Who's Bressinum? Let's look that person up. Bressinum's line algorithm. Oh, that's bright. There's no dark mode toggle on Wikipedia, is there? It's a line drawing algorithm that determines the points of an n-dimensional raster that should be selected in order to form a close approximation to a straight line between 2 points. Oh, I see. And we're not worried about anti-aliasing because we either have a floor or a wall. There's no... Oops. That was weird. I guess if I do 3... Okay. That was neat. The line equation. You know what? We don't need to know how it works. We just need to know what it's doing. And it's just basically drawing a line. But it looks like, you know, if this were a corridor, this would not work because there's no connection between this square here and this square here. So we're going to have to... I'm sure it's a modified version. Instead of doglegging around a corner, we can draw corridors as a straight line. It's a little more irritating for the player to navigate, but it can give a pleasing effect. I'm trying to square that in my head there. We can irritate the player with a pleasing effect. Okay. Rooms, corridors, and lines. Let's create that guy. And what we can just do is copy paste map builders. And what did I forgot what the name of this previous function? Rooms, corridors, nearest. There. Okay, so rooms, corridors, lines. We have all the boilerplate in place. Looks like we'll need rect and tile type. We still need hash set. We don't need draw corridor anymore. And this is straight line corridors. Done. So we call corridors, it stays the same. We don't need the random number generator. I see that here. This no. Stop it. Okay, straight line corridors required builder. Okay. And then we still have connected. We still loop over the rooms. This is almost exactly the same. Room distance, room center point. We do the other rooms. We do connected contains. We do the other rooms. We grab the point. We use the distance algorithm. Wait a minute. This is exactly the same. Oh, but this changes. Does it? We have a sort by. And now, instead of just drawing a straight corridor, we just draw this. Everything else is the same. So it seems like we can have an actual separate function and just pass that in to a generic routine, but let's not go there. Let line is line 2D. And we also need line alg, looks like. So we have line is line 2D, line alg, Bressenhauen, room, center, point. Yeah, that's defined in scope, okay. And then point new, dest center 0, and dest center 1. And then we're going to say for cell in line iter. So I'm assuming that this algorithm will take care of the fact that we're going to be generating, right? We need to be able to generate floors in one of these two locations. Otherwise, the corridor won't be fully connected. So let idx is build data map xy idx of cell x and cell y, and then build data map tiles of idx is equal to tile type floor. And that's it. So this is the change in here. So everything else is the same. All right, and now we need to pull this into, grab this because we're going to need it. I'll save it. And then we're going to go to the mod. We'll throw this in here. Rooms corridors nearest. We're going to say mod that and mod that colon, star. Use. Like that. Okay. And then somewhere down here, instead of nearest corridors, we're going to say straight line corridors. Cargo check. 4 warnings. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because we're not using... Oh, that doesn't need rect. Okay, we can fix that. So we're going to need to loop the nearest ones into our project somehow. And I guess we're going to get to that later. So yeah, this is interesting. So it generated the lines and it did make sure it was fully connected. So let's do that for ourselves. So okay, we're not going to worry about the warnings for now because we'll fix that later. Right now we just want to test the code. So we'll generate the new WASM file. All right, and then we'll see what these lines look like. Nice. And it looks like it's fully connected, right? And this is why we want to do the nearest stuff, because we don't want a line going from here to here and then from here to here and then from here to here, because that would just that would, well, I mean, that might be an interesting map too, right? But yes, as I said, it's a little more irritating to navigate because of the all the angles you have to go through, right? You got to go like this, and then to go down this corridor you have to go, you know, it's not so easy. Whereas straight lines are really easy, especially if you add code in to do the run until something interesting happens or you get blocked. That would be that's something we don't have yet, but I think is fairly common in roguelikes. All right. Storing corridor locations. Okay, so let's get this checked in. We still have the warnings, but we'll clean those up later. What are we looking at here? Gate and source. Let's see. Clippy will complain about the unused stuff too, right? Yeah. But everything else is fine. Git commit. And we have just straight line corridors. Okay. Very good. And now we're going to store corridor locations. What does this mean? We might want to do something with our corridor locations in the future, so let's store them. Let's add a container to store our corridor locations, and we'll make it an option so as to preserve compatibility with map types that don't use the concept. So we're adding a corridors here, which is an option of a vector of view sizes. We also need to adjust the the constructor to ensure that corridors isn't forgotten, right? Well, Rust will complain if we don't. And now in common, oh, I see. So what we're doing is for each corridor, we're going to add a list of all of its locations. With the rooms, it's easy. We just store the rect, right? The upper left and lower right, and we're done. Here we have to store the index for each one of our locations of the corridors. So in draw corridor, for apply vertical and horizontal tunnel, and then rooms corridors BSP, rooms corridors dogleg, and then for straight line corridors we'll need that as well. And rooms corridors nearest. Okay, we have corridor data. Ah, man, I can't say corridor. I've just saying corridor so many times. All right, so storing. Let's start with this. I think we have just enough time. I got about 20 minutes left, and what we'll do is, I might go long. Let's see. We'll get all this storing stuff done. So in our builder map, we have rooms and we're going to have corridors, and they have it down here. Pub corridors, which is an option of a vec of view size. And then when we create this thing here, we need to say corridors none. Easy enough. And now we have to modify. Every place we add a corridor, we need to update our corridor list. This is just returning it. Right, and now this is going to get returned here, but we need to insert it into the list. So when we generate the builder, we're not actually have to do that. So I'm sure we're going to get to that point in a bit. So in common, we're going to return the vec of view size. Corridor push IDX is view size. It should already be view size if we're indexing into the thing. And then just return corridor. We do the same thing for here. Corridor push IDX. Let's do a quick check to make sure that that's actually true. Yep, so that works. And then we have draw corridor, which is not in common anymore. Where did I move that to? It's in map. Okay, maybe it should go back. It should be pushed into common. All right. Oh, and then we have to return it. And then down here we just say, oh, this is interesting. And now we don't want to add it more than once. That makes sense. I wonder why this doesn't do it. Oh, yeah, it does. Right there. Okay, let's go back to that and change that. Don't forget to do that. Okay, if map tiles IDX is not equal to tile type floor, then we'll set it to floor, corridor push IDX. I mean, maybe it makes more sense to make this a hash set so you don't have to do all that. It should be a vector of hash sets. That might make the code that uses it more difficult, but let's find out. Okay, and then so this should check, and I want to go back to common because we need to check. Right, IDX is greater than 0 and IDX is less than last, right? And map tiles IDX is not equal to tile type floor. All right, so this IDX is usize. Yeah, I just fixed that over here because that was annoying me that I had to go as usize everywhere. Map tiles IDX tile type floor. All right, so we only add it to this if we have to. Okay, notice they're essentially unchanged, but now return a vector of tile indices, and only add to them if the tile is being modified as a floor. Why is there a question mark there? Oh! Maybe he's taking it as, do you notice that they are essentially unchanged? Okay, I'm sorry, I get distracted by grammar sometimes. That will give us definitions for each leg of a corridor. Now we need to modify the corridor drawing algorithms to store this information. All right, so yes, we're going to go to rooms, corridors BSP. We have to do essentially the same thing. Well, this is calling draw corridor though, which already handles it. Oh, but after we do that, we need to... Okay. Oh, Yeah, so we modified all the start and end code to handle the fact that the rooms were round. That's fine, but I'm looking here now. What they're saying is instead of calling draw corridor, we're just going to push. We're not going to... Oh, we got it here. Okay, I see it now. I missed that. So we say let corridor equal that. We're going to say corridors push corridor, and we'll take a snapshot, and then we'll say build data. Corridors is some corridors. Yeah, and then we need to create the vec up top here. Let corridors equal the vec new. Oh, mute. Right. There we go. All right. I guess we could just pass it and push it, but maybe not. Does this check? This checks. Okay, and then we need to do the same thing for dog leg. We have C1 and C2. Oh, I see. I see what they're doing. They're just combining these two together and then pushing it all at once. Okay. And then we do the same thing here. Oops. Really? What did I do? I don't know how I deleted that. Okay, and then we need this at the top. Before we loop, let mod corridors is vec new. Very good. And then we have to store it, right? After we're done here, we say build data corridors is some corridors. Okay. You'll notice that we append the second leg of the corridor to the first, so we treat it as one long corridor rather than two hallways. We need to apply the same change to our newly minted rooms corridors lines. Okay, so let's switch over to that. And we'll need to add this over here. And where do we use it? Just down here? Oh, here as well. Okay, so we're going to create the corridor here and then push it there and then generate it here. Okay. So after we get the line 2D, we generate a new corridor. And this is singular corridor as opposed to the plural corridors up here. And then if map tiles idx is not equal to tile type floor, and we're going to put it there and say corridor push idx, and then corridors with an S push corridor without an S. And then down here, we'll say build data corridors equals sum. Like that. And then we'll do the same in rooms corridors nearest. Let's see if this checks. It does. Nearest. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing here. Let my corridors back new. And down here, let corridor equals. Mr. Glitchbite, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Connected insert, build data take snapshot, corridors push, corridor, and then build data, corridor, with an S, sum, corridors. Alright, check that. Not as productive as you would have liked. That's too bad. Hopefully it was still enjoyable. Things are coming along really well here so far. We've gotten through our random room builders, so we can now draw circular rooms. There's a circular room example right there. We can also make corridors that are at angles, which are kind of neat. And now what we're doing is we're storing all the corridor data. I assume that we're going to be doing something fancy with corridors once we store them. So we'll see. So one obvious use is to be able to spawn entities inside corridors. So we'll make a new room corridor spawner to do just that. Okay. Did we have to do anything else here? We didn't add any new files, did we? No, all we did was update the existing code. So let's check this in first before we do anything else. See what Clippy has to say. Yeah, we're still not using the nearest. That's okay. Add source, git commit, store corridor data as we generate it. And now what we'll do is we'll add this room corridor spawner. Map builders, room. What would be a good one? Let's just pick a random one here. We don't need the hash set. We do need the builder map, meta map builder, and we need spawner, but I think that comes out of crate, right? We don't need tile type. That's interesting. We do need the random number generator. You loving the music? Yeah, it's all on Pretzel Rocks. Pretzel.rocks to take a look if you want to take a look. And it's mostly the industrial and metal stuff. I find that to be soothing while I program. All right. Random number generator builder map. We don't have any of the other things from RLTK. Right, so we can delete all those guys, and we don't need tile type. And like I said, I think spawner comes from the crate. Use crate spawner. I did rearrange some of the code that's in this tutorial to suit my own style, but it means that I have to mostly guess when I make changes. Alright, so all of that's the same. And now we have a build. So this changes to build. And this changes to build. We don't need to grab the rooms, but we are going to grab the corridors. Okay. So that goes away. If let some corridors build data corridors for C in corridors iter. Huh. Okay, we're just passing in the map and a corridor, which is just a vec of units. Does that work? I guess. Else panic. I'm trying to think because I don't remember us doing that. So let's see. We're going to add it here. Room-based spawner and then corridor spawner. All right. So let's do that. That goes into the mod. Do we have a room-based spawn? Here it is. So we just say mod this and use this colon star. And then down here, we're going to copy and paste room-based spawner and just change it to corridor spawner. And see if this checks. It does not. Yeah, okay. Build data map, RNG. Oh, I forgot to put the, I forgot to get rid of the underscore. Yeah, see, this has to change now, because now I can't really test it. Until we figure out how we can pass in this thing here, spawn region. This should be spawn something else. So we don't actually have the code that does this yet. And then restoring randomness. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Well, so let's fix this bug, and then we can wrap up the stream. Basically what they're doing is they've added this vector of use sizes, but the spawn region code doesn't take that. Right? If we look at spawn region, oh, it does have an area of use size. I don't remember that at all. And then these are the areas. Okay. But it is expecting 4 arguments, and somehow I ended up with 5 arguments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so the spawn list, map depth, the area, the random number generator. We do not pass in the map. We do not pass in the map. Okay. That's interesting. I vaguely remember that now, and I was puzzled by the fact we don't need the map in order to spawn things, but it's true because The spawner just cares about where they need to be spawned. It doesn't care about what the map data looks like. And when we spawn things, we're spawning things into the entity component system. We're not putting them in the map. We do need to know the map index, though, for each one. But that comes out of the array of areas. So, yeah, and then we add things to the spawn list. And then once we've done that, then we go through the spawn code and spawn the things in the XY locations that we convert from the spawn list. Okay, that all makes sense. So, this should work now, right? It checks, cargo check, yep. So we added the corridor spawner, and now I should, if I generate a new WASM file, I should be able to refresh my browser here and see, well, level 0 isn't going to spawn very much anyway, but we'll see. Or depth 1, rather, isn't going to spawn very much. There we go. Okay, and then I have the magic developer code to reveal the map. Oh, look at that. And now there's a trap right... Oh, there's another trap right there. So if I see the trap and I walk on it, I still don't avoid it. So I'll just have to take the hit. I don't see... I guess those were spawned in a corridor, maybe? Does that count? Nothing was in that corridor. There's a goblin there. Okay. Actually, let's heal up. I guess this counts as a corridor, right? It's a bear trap. Let me look in the other slightly less long corridor up here. This is kind of hard to navigate, but that's all right. Nothing in that corridor. Nothing in this one. There's a long one over here I want to take a look at. Nothing up here, and nothing down there. All right, let's try refreshing. I mean, it's going to be rare that we get a spawn anyway. Although, am I dead? No, I stayed alive. And there's a health potion, hopefully. There we go. Okay. And there's a bear trap. So I think that initial goblin and rations and things spawned right in that corridor. So I think we're good. I think it's working. And then restoring randomness is just the other thing. So we need to add in the ability to spawn in corridors, which is here. So we do have this. We want to switch over to the mod for the map builder and then go down here. So this will allow us to generate random mazes now. So we have the random shape builder. We still have the waveform collapse, which I moved because of bugs. This still all stays the same. Why are they showing it to us? Oh, to show that it was uncommented. Okay, and then corridor roll. We have that, the dogleg corridors. Where is that? That is down here. And we're going to add to them, right? So we no longer is a 1 to 2, we have a 1 to 4. So 1 is the dogleg, 2 is the nearest. Three is the straight line. And then the last one is BSP. And then we're going to add one more thing here. 1 chance and 2 is builder width. Corridor spawner. New. Otherwise nothing. Oh, we're just going to say 1. Okay. There we go. That check, and it does not. Semicolon. Okay, and now we got rid of the warnings. So now we're good. Clippy, what does Clippy say? Clippy says remove the ampersand. Okay. Yep. Good. And then we just have those two files. Oh, git add source, git commit, randomness restored. All right, so then tomorrow, should I keep going? Doors looks pretty good. Let me keep going just a little bit longer. I was going to stop at 9, but maybe I'll stop at 9:30. I'm on Eastern time, so right now it's 9:05 to me. Let's see. Doors and corners, that's where they get you. If we're ever going to make Miller's warning come true from The Expanse. I read the first book of The Expanse. I tried watching the TV series, but I couldn't get into the TV series, even though I had read the book. It would be a good idea to have doors in the game. Doors are a staple of dungeon bashing. We've waited this long to implement them so as to ensure that we have good places to put them. Alright, that's fair. We'll start with simple cosmetic doors that don't do anything at all. This will let us work on placing them appropriately, and then we can implement some door-related functionality. It's been a while since we added an entity type. Fortunately, we have everything we need for cosmetic doors in existing components. Open up spawner.rs and refamiliarize yourself with it. Yeah, it's been a while since we looked at any of the entity code because we've been SPA, there we are. We've been doing so much of the map building, which is non-entity related stuff. And now we'll add a door function, or a door creation function. So let's just put it down here. An X and a Y coordinate, and ECS create entity. It's just going to be very similar to all the other ones. It's going to have a position, a renderable, and we're going to use the standard plus sign for doors. That's going to be annoying because I think that's a dark brown and that's going to be hard to see, but we'll just live with that, I guess, for now until we decide it's too annoying. So we've got a position, renderable, a name. We do want to add the simple marker so that we can save it, or save its location, and then the build. So let's add those guys. So this changes to a plus. This changes to CHOCOLATE. Render order is still 2. We'll change this to a door. And we're done. After we do that, we have to modify the save load code. Right? No, we don't. Because we're not adding a new type. This is just regular items. So it's not a new... Yeah. So we don't have to modify that. Okay, let's go back to the spawn code then. And look for this. And now we're going to add the door down here. So it's just a regular entity, so it'll just get save loaded. We won't add doors to the spawn tables. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to randomly appear in rooms. Okay, and now we're going to place doors. So we're going to create a door placement. And that's going to be in map builders. Build a map. And then use RLTK. Oh, this is going to be Okay, this isn't going to be too bad. And then pub struct door placement. We'll implement it. I do not put in the allows for dead code at all because I want to make sure that we clean everything up at the end. And then build data, build. Oh, I forgot. No, it doesn't return anything. Okay, and then we just say self doors. That's it. And then impl door placement. This is why I normally just do a copy paste, because this is so boilerplatey. Like that. Done and done. And then we're going to create the doors function, which is just this with doors. Like that. Okay, looks like, oh yeah, it's an empty skeleton of the meta builder. Okay, so now we're going to create a doors possible. All right, so check for east-west door possibility and check for north-south door possibility. All right. And it's just going to return true or false. And so it's doing a bunch of checks here to see walls and floors. All right. Maybe as we type it in, we'll understand what the code's trying to do. Or possible. Self build data. Takes a builder map and an index. Returns a bool. Build data map width as usize, and then y is idx divided by. All right, so if build data map tiles idx is tile type floor, hi Vidal. So what I'm working on right now is a Rust roguelike. There's in the description of this stream, there's a link to the roguelike tutorial. And what we're doing is just creating this little roguelike that I can run around and try not to die. And we are currently figuring out how to add, right now there's no doors between any of the rooms, so we're trying to figure out how to add doors to the rooms. And that's what we're learning here. So x is greater than 1 and build data map tiles idx minus 1 is a floor. And x is less than build data map width minus 2 and build data map tiles idx plus 1 is tile type floor. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to say use tile type star. That way I can get rid of all these. Like that. Make it a little easier to fit on the lines. And then we're going to do the same thing with y. Data map tiles idx minus build data map width as usize. I was just trying to make it shorter and now it's really long. Equals floor. And y is less than build data map height minus 2 and build data map tiles idx plus build data map let w equals build data map width as usize. Let h equals build data map height as usize. I don't need height. Oh, I do need height right here. H. And this becomes W. And this becomes, oh, what was it? It was width, W. And this becomes H, right? Oh no, IDX plus W is floor. Wall. Oh, these are walls. These last two are walls. Okay. Oh, and I hit F1 again. Stop that. Wall and wall. Ah, oops. Go back. Okay. This should be, what am I doing? This should be an and, like that. All right, so if we're on a floor and there's a floor to our left or right, floor to our right, no, that's left. Yeah, that's left. And then if there's a floor to our right and there's a wall above us and below us, then we're going to return true. Oops. Like that. Return true. And then we're going to do north-south. So it's going to be this same code, but we're going to flip it north-south. So if this is a wall, and this is a wall, and this is a floor, and this is a floor, return true. Otherwise, return false. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That makes sense. Let's add the comments in. Check for east, west, door possibility, and then check for north, south, door possibility. Wow, there we go. That's misspelled as well. Oops. Oh, this should be ECS create entity. It still doesn't like it. I'm not found in the scope because I typoed this guy. Okay, that's better. And let's go back here because I misspelled possibility. P-O-S-S-I-B-I-L-I-T-Y. There we go. Good. All right, and then we have the doors. So the actual doors function, which is up here. We're going to say if let some halls original equals build data corridors. Oh, and we'll just ignore it if there are no corridors. Okay. That's fine. Why is it called halls original and corridors? Okay. Halls original clone. For hall in halls iter. If hall len is greater than 2, so I think what's going on here is that if as long as the hallway has more than 2 floor tiles in it, and it matches an east-west or north-south door possibility, then we're going to push into our spawner list a door. So a door gets spawned at that location of hall 0. I think that's pretty straightforward. And now what we'll do is we'll modify our map builder. We'll switch this back to K, and that way it'll come down here. We do a simple map builder, we draw the rooms, we sort the rooms, we do straight line corridors, we do a room-based spawner, we do a corridor spawner, we do a room-based starting position, and now we're going to add on, at the end, door placement, which means we need to pull it in here. And I forgot what the name of the file was. I thought I had a paste buffer, but I didn't. Oh, it's just called door placement. So that's pretty straightforward. Cargo check. And that fails because I forgot the parens. What else fails? Self doors. It's right there. No method named doors. Oh, probably because it just didn't compile. Okay. I couldn't use tile type? Oh, great. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do is add it here. There. Okay, that works. 2 warnings, though. Let's do a check. We're not using the random number generator. All right, so let's turn that off. Like that. Okay, so let's regenerate the WASM file and see if we get any doors. So we did all this, and they're saying give it a shot. So let's give it a shot. We could speed this up a little bit. I don't see any door. Oh, probably because we haven't reached any yet. Oh, I just stepped in a bear trap. Nice. There's a door. Look at that. It is kind of, I mean, you can see it. I thought it was going to be a darker brown and lose contrast with the background, but it seems like you can see it. Right now we can just walk over it. We can't pick it up. That's good. Why can't we pick it up? Well, because we need to add something to our. Let's take a look at the where we spawn it here. Confusion scroll we can pick up. It's marked as an item. This is not marked as an item. So maybe that's what prevents it from being picked up. Yeah, there's nothing else in the confusion scroll that would do it. So maybe only items can be picked up. It's been a while since we looked at that part of the code. So yeah, memories. Okay, so that's good. So what about other designs? It's certainly possible to scan other maps tile by tile, looking to see if there's a possibility of a door appearing. Oh, okay, so we're going to just do that. Right, so if there are corridors, then we'll do the corridor-based doors. If there's no corridors, then we'll clone the entire map and scan every floor location and see if a door is possible, and if so, we will spawn a door. Okay. So BSP interior, that makes sense here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. That for the BSP interior, every so often there's a little gap between the rooms, and so this will just throw a door in there every time. But what do we do for doors that I mean, for other spawning styles? I guess we ignore those. Modify your random build to use a map without hallways, and then we just put door placement. Okay. Let's add this code, and then we'll call it a stream. Where's my door? Oh, I don't have it checked in yet, so it's not going to be finding it that way. Files, doors, door placement. There we go. Okay, so let's just change this here. Else. And we're going to do this. So for I and tile in tiles enumerate if it's a floor and a door is possible. We already checked to see if the index we pass in is a floor, so that's just redundant. I'm gonna eliminate that. Then we're going to say build data spawn list push I and door to string, and we're done. Okay, so and then what we can do is modify our random builder. So instead we're going to do a BSP interior builder. We're going to do the door placement next after that. And then just do a room-based spawner, room-based stairs, and room-based starting position. So something very simple, just to test out the thing. Cargo check. Oh, cargo check's running a long time here. It might be hung on my workspace. Yeah, blocked waiting for file lock. That's frustrating. I won't be able to. Okay, I'm gonna have to come over here. And try to kill whatever is running here. Yeah, I got a couple of cargo checks I can try killing. Still running. What else? Cargo check this. That do it? No? Oh, there we go. Okay. Finally. Cargo check. We're not using the tile? Oh, right, we're not using the tile. I modified that. There's no reason to check the tile. Right, because we're checking it in the code itself. I mean, I guess we could. What the hell? Tile is equal to tile type floor. It's just we're checking it again down here. So. Uh-oh, I did a cargo check again. Oh, that worked. Okay. All right, let's run that and take a look at what the BSP interior looks like. Let's refresh this. Right, so the BSP interior basically just divides the entire map up into little subregions and then connects them all with little mini corridors like this. It's all part of the BSP interior thing. And then, well, it looks like it's doing too many. And then it looks for doors. I didn't see the door placement. Oh, but I see it here. Oh, that's right, because the doors are not part of the map. So we won't see it as part of the door generation stuff. Ooh, there's a double door. Let's read the scroll so we can at least see what the map layout looks like. And then every one of these things should have a door between it. I remember playing roguelikes that you wouldn't have a door disappear as you stepped away. But I guess, you know, it's personal choice, the designer's choice. Right, because we can't see, if we're standing here, we can't see the door that's here, and we can't see the door that's here. And we get close, and then the door shows up, and it just says door. And I still need to fix the contrast on this tooltip. Doesn't show door there, but if I get close enough, then it pops up. All right. I think we're going to call it a stream now. We did a lot. We got a lot done. Oh, let's check in with Clippy real quick. Ooh, something good. What do we got? This if statement can be collapsed. This is true. Let us collapse that if statement. Oops. And that. goes away. Okay. And we're good. Git add source. Git commit -m placing doors. And let's push that up here. Let's take a look at our commits. Yeah, we got a lot done today. Very good. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to take a look at, we're going to make things random again. So we're going to add door placement to our, in general. I could have done that now. It's just a one-line change. And then we're going to make doors do something. So we're going to actually have to have them, you have blocks tile and blocks visibility. Ooh. Okay, so those are two new things we're going to have to add components for, which we haven't done in a long time. You see that down here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Making doors do something. We have to start here, though. Restore a random function. All right, let me hit refresh here and see if there's anybody we can raid. And I don't see anybody doing Rust programming. There should be a way to search for Rust programming, right? But I don't know how to do that. Twitch TV. Look for Rust programming. See if there's anybody I'm not following who might be doing past videos. I want to see live videos. Who's live? Who's doing Rust? I don't see anybody. There really needs to be a good way to do this. And I don't see anything. Oh, somebody's playing Fortnite. Okay, that doesn't help. All right, I'm going to have to learn how to do that because I would love to be able to find new people doing Rust programming and then go raid them. But meanwhile, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I certainly did. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.